Imagine waking up to find no water coming out of your faucet, not a drop. You might check another tap, the shower, but it's all bone dry. This is no minor outage. The city has simply run out of water. Sound far-fetched? I'm Captain Cabbage, and today we're diving into that exact scenario. In this immersive survival story, you are at the center of a crisis where modern life as we know it evaporates. We'll walk through the chaos step by step, learn from real-world close calls, and figure out how to scavenge and save every precious drop. It's a serious situation, with a few drops of dry humor along the way, because sometimes all you can do is joke about how absurd it is. It starts on an ordinary morning. You turn the kitchen tap expecting a gush of water, but nothing comes out. You twist the knob further, perplexed. Maybe a pipe burst. Then you notice your neighbor outside, shaking an empty water jug with a worried look. The entire block is dry. By noon, the news confirms the unthinkable. The city reservoirs are empty. Day one, and the water taps are officially off. By sunset of the first day, every grocery store in town is stripped of bottled water. Panicked crowds cleared the shelves in hours. You managed to grab a couple of dusty gallon jugs of distilled water, the kind people usually ignore. It's astonishing how fast normal goes out the window. Yesterday, water was the cheapest thing in the world, and now people would trade anything for a sip. On day two, the reality sets in. Toilets won't flush. Showers are a memory. You've collected every liquid in your house, melted the ice in the freezer, poured out that old soda, but your stash is shrinking. The city has set up emergency water stations, but lines stretch for blocks under the hot sun. A single person is rationed a few liters if they even get to the front. Tempers flare in those lines. One man shouts that his kids haven't had a drink all day. Another collapses from heat exhaustion. This is where the term water wars stops being hyperbole. Day three, you hear a commotion down the street. Neighbors are arguing, no fighting, over a working backyard well one family has. In the parking lot of a shutdown supermarket, two strangers scuffle over a case of water bottles someone found in the back. Thirsty people become desperate people. A fire truck rolls by, not to put out a fire, but to deliver a tank of potable water under armed guard. Society hasn't completely fallen apart, but it's on edge. You notice how quiet everything has become. No lawn sprinklers, no dishwashers, no humming of washing machines, just the dry rustle of wind on empty streets and the distant sound of generators at emergency centers. You catch yourself thinking about things you took for granted. The luxury of a 10-minute shower, the frivolity of watering lawns. Even the phrase, money down the drain, feels darkly ironic now. Water is wealth.
In a few days of this crisis, it's clear that human decency is drying up, almost as fast as the water supply. As one famous warning put it, if wars of the past were fought over oil, the wars of the future may be fought over water. And here you are, living that future. Is this scenario really so implausible? Not at all. In 2018, Cape Town, a modern city of 4 million in South Africa, came within weeks of day zero, the day they would turn off municipal taps and have residents queue for daily water rations. Thanks to draconian water restrictions and a bit of timely rain, they narrowly avoided becoming the first major city in the world to run completely out of tap water. And history shows even mightier societies have collapsed when their water ran out. 4,000 years ago, the Akkadian Empire in Mesopotamia, one of the first great civilizations, collapsed, likely after a devastating drought turned their fertile land to dust. When wells run dry, order and civility can evaporate too. Back in our story, it's been a week now without running water. You've adapted in ways you never imagined. Every morning at dawn, you set up buckets and pots, hoping for even a brief rain shower. You speak in whispers with neighbors, trading tips on where a trickle of water might still be found. Trust is scarce. Some folks band together for protection, while others hoard what they have. At night, the city's dark. The water shortage knocked out power in places. No water to cool the power plant or for hydropower. By a small fire, you sip the day's carefully rationed water and plan your next move. Survival has become a full-time job.
By now, it's clear, finding water is priority number one. In an urban collapse, you'll need to get creative and act fast. Find hidden water sources. Start close to home. Check every corner of your house for water that's already there. Your hot water heater holds a treasure trove. Tens of gallons, 30 to 80 gallons in a standard tank, of clean water that you can access if you know how. There's also a few gallons sitting in your toilet's tank, not the bowl, that can be used after proper disinfection. Gather any melted ice from your freezer and even the liquid from canned foods, veggie water for example. Once you've tapped the house, look outside. Rainwater is a lifesaver. Set out buckets, pots, or a tarp to catch any rain. Ponds, lakes, or public fountains can be sources too. You must treat this water before drinking. Avoid water with heavy chemical contamination. For example, swimming pool water is full of chlorine and other additives. Okay for washing maybe, but not safe to drink even if boiled or chlorinated. Focus on potable sources first. Filter and purify anything you find. Any water you scavenge might be contaminated, so you must purify it. The gold standard is boiling. Bring the water to a rolling boil for at least a full minute, longer if you're at a high elevation, to kill bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Let it cool before drinking and keep it covered while it cools to avoid dust or debris. No power for boiling? Use chemical disinfection. Plain, unscented household bleach can work in a pinch. About 2 drops of bleach per liter of clear water, or 8 drops per gallon. Stir it well and let the water stand for 30 minutes. You should detect a slight chlorine smell by then. If not, add another drop and wait 15 minutes more. If the water's cloudy, it's recommended to double those bleach amounts. Other options include water purification tablets or tincture of iodine for a first aid kit. Use them according to instructions. Additionally, filtering the water through cloth, coffee filters, or even a t-shirt will help remove sediment and gross particles. If you have a camping-style water filter, use it. Just know that most portable filters remove bacteria and parasites, but not all viruses. Even an improvised filter is possible. For example, layering sand, charcoal, and gravel in a bottle to pre-filter murky water. Always remember, though, that filtering alone is not enough. You still need to boil or chemically disinfect after filtering. Make it clean. In an urban environment, any open water could be tainted with sewage, industrial runoff, or other nasties. Purify every drop as if your life depends on it, because it does. Ration and conserve. With whatever water you have managed to secure, the next challenge is making it last. Ration strictly. The average person needs about 2 to 3 liters of drinking water a day to stay fully functional, but in survival mode, you might try to get by on less. Set a daily water allowance for each person, say 2 liters for drinking and maybe another 0.5 liters for minimal cooking and hygiene. Use small sips, not gulps, to stretch the supply and keep your mouth moist. Prioritize drinking and hydration over washing and cleaning. Forget about showers and laundry, those are luxuries now. Use hand sanitizer or alcohol wipes for cleaning hands when possible to save water for drinking. If you must wash, use a single cup of water with a washcloth instead of a full basin. Reuse gray water, like water used to rinse food or clothes, for things like flushing toilets, if the sewer system is still functioning. Speaking of toilets, they won't work for long without water, so be ready to improvise sanitation, like lining the toilet bowl with a garbage bag or digging a makeshift latrine to avoid using up precious clean water for flushing. Also, manage your activity level to conserve your body's internal water. Move slowly, stay in the shade, and avoid heavy sweating during the heat of the day. Every drop of sweat is a drop you'll need to replace. By pacing yourself and being disciplined with your water use, you can significantly extend your survival time on whatever water you have.
By the end of this trial, you've learned that when the taps run dry, every drop counts, and knowledge is truly power. Our story may be hypothetical, but the lessons are real. From Cape Town's close call to ancient cities lost to drought, we see a common thread. Water security can make or break a civilization or a neighborhood. The good news is that humans can be resourceful. Yes, even you, parched and tired as you are in this scenario. With some preparation, ingenuity, and cool-headed rationing, you can survive a water crisis and maybe even help others around you make it through. Hopefully, you'll never have to live out a real-life day zero. But thinking it through now might make you the calm, prepared person in the room if a water emergency ever does happen. So, store a few extra bottles, fix those leaky faucets, and appreciate the miracle that is clean water on demand while you have it. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and until next time, this is Captain Cabbage signing off. I'm going to enjoy a tall glass of water now, while it's still easy to get. Cheers to that, and may your taps never run dry.